Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Mahidin, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Now you know that we always try to do a first, and this is a first today because we've got a special guest on the show with us today to talk to you guys. And I know you guys have been asking me to get him on the channel, get him on the channel. It's all about the right timing, and this I feel is the right timing. So before we get going, don't forget obviously to subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos, and obviously like, share, and comment in the live chat. Get your questions in right now because we're going to bring in Tabraiz Shamsi. So first and foremost, welcome to the show, Tabraiz. I'm so happy that you're here with us.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Awesome, and I'm happy that you're in your Titans gear. It's everything is perfect because I mean we need to talk about something that happened, and that is obviously that amazing performance that you put in for the Titans. You guys are now 2 wins out of 2. Great start to the season. But before we get into that main performance, I just want to ask you, what has it been like to be back in the middle again? What has it been like to be playing cricket again, competitive cricket?
Firstly, like you mentioned, it's been a while since we've played. So there were definitely nerves involved. Obviously we know the skills there and, we've done it before, but never have we had like a situation where we were off and not playing cricket for about 8 months, I think. So I was quite nervous, I won't lie, because you can train as much as you want, but it's just not the same, as a real match. So the first game in Cape Town, I was quite nervous. Even this one here, but as we go along, I think muscle memory comes back into it, and you just get on with the job.
Mhm. I think a lot of people know that you are a bubbly personality. Now, everybody obviously has a different way of dealing with things, and some people said that they struggled mentally during the lockdown period to this, like, obviously because they're outgoing people normally. Some guys loved it; they could sit back and relax for a change. Other like not like other people. But for you, how did it affect you? How did the lockdown or affect you personally? Was it good for your cricket? Do you feel it was good for your mental state, etc.?
Well, look, cricket-wise, obviously it was quite tough not being able to train. I think it's been about 10 years since I've spent that much time at home, so that was quite a new experience. But my baby was born just before the lockdown, so for me it worked out perfectly. I got to spend so much time at home. I actually got to see how a child actually grows and how a child develops and how much hard work it is actually for the wives, and the woman that raised the children. Obviously you always have that respect for everyone, and women especially, but when you're actually in that situation for an extended period of time, you realize that the mother's role, and it's a huge task. It's something that we can't ever fathom, and I got to experience that firsthand. So for me, it was amazing being at home for so long. And the last 2 weeks was actually quite sad because it's the first time I was away from my child and away from my family, my wife and everyone for after such a long time. So that's gonna be quite an adjustment. And I think moving forward as well with the England series coming up, it might be a bit challenging.
Mm-hmm. Have you done any magic tricks with your kid?
I think at the moment he's not interested in my
Yeah, is
magic
that?
shows. He's showing us magic, just the amazing things that he's doing, from being a baby, just laying down there in bed, wrapped up, to being able to move, to learn how to, sit and crawl and things like that. It's just been amazing for me, and it's honestly changed my life.
Now, I was talking about your wife. I was saying like to cheer her up a bit when she's going through stress.
Yeah, I
um,
think it's sometimes you lose your sense of humor because it's a 24-hour job,
yeah, of course.
and not to say that I didn't have any respect for her before, but now it's just grown like tenfold, because I
Yeah.
realized exactly what a tough job she has.
It must be an amazing experience to experience that. But let's get back into the cricket because I mean, first 2 games you've been flying. I mean, you've been excellent. I watched you at Newlands, fantastic performance over there. To see you in action, obviously live was I was a little bit. I was like I don't know what to push it in people's faces or anything or say like, no, I was at the game or whatever. But to be able to see you live in action was just incredible. And you really put in an amazing performance. So well done on that. But I want to talk about that specific performance, taking those figures, 8 for 32. It's actually, if I talk about it, I don't know how many fans actually know, but you claim the best ever figures for the Titans bowling as a Titans bowler, breaking Dale Steyn's record of 12 years ago. So quite an achievement. Did you know that at the time when you took those wickets?
No, not at all. Those are kind of things that you don't even know about until somebody breaks a record, and then it comes to light, because we have very clever statisticians and people, in the cricketing circle that keep tabs on those things. I'm just worried about landing my ball in the right place, not worrying about records and thinking of all those things. But yeah, it's quite nice, and obviously Dale's a legend, not just in our country but in the whole world. He's one of the best bowlers that's ever played. So I'm actually quite embarrassed in a way that I've taken better figures than him, but I come nowhere close to being the bowler that he is.
Yeah, fantastic performance. I just wanted to ask you because, like, you've become known and become famous for your ability in the limited overs cricket. But we know that your ability in first class cricket. There are people that have followed domestic cricket for a long time can see your figures itself. But how different has it been to fine tune your skills, and how much improvement was there that you picked up to be able to fine tune your skills for? Obviously, for the cricket, because I mean, we all know your goal must be to play Test cricket more for South Africa.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously that goal was always there. It's just the way things that turned out. I was used more in the white ball format. I never made myself unavailable. It's just that's how the game goes sometimes, and
Yeah.
I have to perform whichever format I'm playing in. And if the opportunity presents itself in red ball cricket, I'm there. It's not something as if to say that I've picked up some new skills now in this lockdown or something. It's still the same. Like you mentioned, I was always performing behind the scenes and doing my thing. And someone actually brought it to my attention that I've probably third on the list of the most 10 fizz taken in South Africa
Yep.
in the longer format. So, I've always growing up, I enjoyed the red ball stuff. And like I mentioned, it's just the way things turned out that I was being used more as a white ball bowler in South Africa. So my job's to perform wherever my country needs me. I'll be there.
Awesome. I mean, we know that the England tour is coming. You're part of the squad, of course, and there's no doubt about that. You're one of the best spinners in the country, and so it's an amazing achievement, obviously, to be able to represent your country. But looking forward to England, obviously, the goal must be that World Cup spot, that World Cup squad, etc. What has it been like with regards to hearing that you're again part of the squad? But how are you going to be prepared? Because now you're more one of the senior guys in the side.
Yeah, obviously England's the world champions. They're one of the best white ball teams in the world. They've, I think, already played like 3 or 4 series, whereas this is our first time being together as a South African unit. So it might be a bit of a slow start, but I mean, we're looking forward to it. Like you mentioned, all of us have basically played 2 rounds. Yes, I understand it's a different format, so there might be a little bit of adjustment that needs, especially for me as a bowler as well. I know I have to make adjustments in the lengths that I bowl and the pace that I bowl, compared to one-day cricket or T20. So, yeah, it's just, we've got to put in the work behind the scenes, and we're excited, and it's not about, World Cup spots and, getting selected in the squad. For me, the way I'm thinking is, how am I going to make my country win the World Cup? Those are the kind of things that I like to, think about. If I don't make the squad, I don't make the squad. But I've never been somebody that's happy to be in a team. I always want to make an impact. I want to make a positive difference. And what I realized against England and Australia prior to the lockdown is that, everyone looks at me as a wicket taker. Shamsi's going to take wickets. Yes, I can do that. And that's something that I pride myself on. But I learned that, I can actually help my team win games by actually being economical as well. So, yeah, and that's what happened on a few of the occasions against Australia and England. So that's something that I grew in terms of my role and my understanding that if I want to make my country win games, it's not only about taking wickets. If I'm not getting wickets on a day, I can win the game for my team or help the team win games by bowling an economical spell. So I'm looking forward to exploring both sides.
Awesome. That's amazing from your side. So I'm going to get into some of the comments quickly. Let's just go into some of them and say, okay, as a young Chinaman, who did you used to look up to?
So I think at the time there was only Brad Hogg that was playing as a Chinaman bowler. So obviously I watched a lot of his bowling. Shane Warne, one of the best leg spinners. So just to get a reference point. But I also watched a lot of Saeed Ajmal's bowling because that was another reference point besides Brad Hogg. Yes, he was a right arm off spinner, but he spun the ball into the right-handers. So I watched a lot of his bowling as well to try and pick up on tips on how to bowl, what type of fields to set. So I think mostly it was those guys that I watched closely and tried to, pick up on things because there wasn't anyone around, obviously besides Paul Adams. But at that stage of my career, or I was young, I didn't have access to him to be able to speak to him and things like that.
Awesome. There's an interesting one. Do you like bowling in the death and in power plays in T20 cricket?
Yeah, I actually enjoy that. We understand that it's gonna go one of two ways. Either you're gonna go for runs or you're gonna pick up wickets. So I just look at it in a positive way. If I can bowl a cheap spell there at the death, that can make the difference for us chasing less runs or take wickets. So yeah, it's not something that I'm intimidated by. It's actually exciting. And I understand, there'll be days you're gonna travel. You're not gonna be the first bowler to get smacked all around the park at the death. So, I just look at it that in the way that I can make a difference by taking wickets for my team or bowling a cheap spell at the death that can make a difference in the result.
Now we know that obviously sport is quite a difficult thing to be in, especially on social media with social media around. So Ravi asks a question that is quite that's something that is quite relevant. He says, Tabraiz, what is your message to the haters? You look like a renewed man with heightened confidence.
No, there's no message. I don't think there's any haters. I think what happens is obviously people are passionate.
Yeah.
If they didn't care, they wouldn't care to comment either. So sometimes it's just people channel their energies in a different way. At the end of the day, we're all humans. Nobody's trying to mess up. You doing your job right now.
Exactly.
I'm doing my job on the field. And like I mentioned, it was tough for me just leaving home last week after 8 months. So we all have children at home. We all have wives, families, just like everyone else. So on the day, people forget that the opposition players are also getting paid to play. They're not bad either. They're also world-class players. So some days you're going to win, some days you're going to lose. So yeah, I have nothing to say about that. I think it's just that sometimes people's passion comes out the wrong way and they take out that aggression or whatever out on the players. It's definitely not right. And, no players going out there to mess up.
And he said, how is the studying going, Tabraiz? Please tell us if you are studying presently.
I'm actually glad I'm done with studying. It was actually probably very tough during lockdown. I had studied previously, but I didn't have a baby then, and I wasn't married. And my memories of that was that it's okay, I can cope with it. And then you throw a baby in the mix and all of that. It was a lot harder this time around than it was previously, but I survived. I did a course on investments and property management, property development and investments.
Awesome.
So yeah, that course is done. And I don't think I'll be jumping into studying anything anytime soon again.
Okay, that's the last one. That is, who is the best captain you played under? It's a very difficult one to ask.
Yeah, I think it's hard to single out one person.
Yeah.
Because each captain has different qualities. Not every captain's going to give you everything you like, and not every captain's going to have everything that you don't like. But the guy that I played under the longest is Faf du Plessis, and I really enjoy his captaincy. I like the way he operates with the team, and specifically for myself, he gives me the freedom. He allows me to train the way I want to because he knows he can trust me in the game. And, that kind of trust is earned as well through your performances. So, I really love my time with Faf. Even at Paul Rocks, he's always signed me up. Even in the global D20 that didn't take place, he signed me up. So we have a good working relationship and a friendship besides just him being my captain. I think that's what helps as well. We're good friends and it's easier to communicate with each other.
Yeah. We've seen how Faf obviously performed in the IPL, and we always see always performs when the pressure's down, when the beat's on him. What makes him such a winner, and what makes him have such a winning mentality? What differentiates him from the rest?
Well, number one, he's a damn good batsman, isn't he? You got
Yeah,
to have the
of
skills
course.
to be able to make runs, and he's a gun fielder as well. So yeah, obviously his skill level's there. That's why he can perform. But like I mentioned, it's just the way he trains, the way he thinks about the game. Not only does it help me as a bowler and the rest of the team, you can see we won the MSL with the Paul Rocks as well.
Mm.
Obviously, a lot of credit must go to Faf and Eddie Burrell. Their partnership worked perfectly for us. They have a different way of running a team, completely different to how I've experienced before. And it's something that I've taken from his leadership. If I'm ever in a position like that, or in other teams, even like the Titans or whatever it is, there's things that I've picked up on how to allow people to train their way and just give them the freedom, and you'll get the performances in return. So I think that's a key thing with Faf. He's a great leader. He knows what he wants. He knows the type of players he wants in his team, and he backs those guys.
Lastly, just a message to the Cricket Fanatics magazine fans out there that have been calling me to bring you on the show.
Yeah, it's been nice to chat. Hopefully we can do it again. And yeah, if I make a mistake somewhere down the line, just know I'm not trying to do that. But more often than not, we're going to be celebrating together. We're going to be laughing together, and we're going to win a lot of games for this country together.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Tabraiz, for coming on the show. I really enjoyed chatting to you, and we'll definitely catch up again soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man.
Take care, man. So, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I really enjoyed talking to Tabraiz as usual. I mean, every single time I can have a conversation with him, I feel happy about my life. So that's a great thing. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody. And obviously, don't forget to do what you need to do. And that's like, comment, share, subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all updates. We obviously have the update of Tabraiz's performance as well on there, including an interview that he gave to the Titans after the game. So go check that out. Don't forget to download the latest issue of the magazine. The link is on the screen. The link is in the description. Thanks to everybody out there. And if you guys want to have a business and you're looking to improve your business and gain sales and automate your sales process, we have a link in the description for you guys to help you out with that as well, because we're going to help small businesses grow their businesses. So thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody. And I hope you guys take care during these times, and we'll see you guys very, very soon.